Joel and Randy's Texas Tea is brought to you by copious amounts of alcohol, which actually we should get help for. We really need to get help for, because I think we drink too much. But anyway, just to let you know, this episode, we went a little too far, maybe, and some things were said, thanks to alcohol, that might offend some listeners. So we're just letting you know ahead of time that it might offend some listeners. So please send us your hate as much as you can on our Facebook page, because we love you and we like to know what you're thinking too. So please be warned that this episode will contain copious amounts of alcohol, as well as bits of racism, some sexism, some transphobia, some misogyny, some homophobia, some other things in the isms and the phobias that might offend you. If you're a vegan, you might be offended. Good Lord, you're going to be offended. So we're just letting you know ahead of time, you're probably going to be offended. But listen to the show in the context that the show is meant for, and you might actually love it. So, bye, y'all.
Hello, and welcome to the show. Joel and Randy's Texas Tea, honey. We drinking some tea right now. Let's say hello to all of our family, so to speak.
Yeah,
Pinky.
family.
Pinky's here. I'm a little half-mast, y'all, so I apologize. I'm having a little bit of oral pain.
Oral. Oh.
She's having TV
I like
issues.
the oral.
She said oral.
Right.
She's having TV issues.
Chris is here, though.
Chris, Mr. Chris, if you're nasty.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, our Joel...
Bitches, I'm here, bitches. Don't worry. I'm still here.
They were so scared.
They were about to hang up.
And...
Black man in the room, girl.
Black man.
You're black? I didn't know that. I thought you were just tan. No.
Girl, excuse me, wait a minute. She's not the only black man in the room. According to 23andMe, bitch, I am 3% black. As a matter of fact, I come from... Oh, shit. We're Nigeria. That's right, Nigeria.
I'm actually black from the waist down.
No, but my great
Prove it.
grandmother was black and from Nigeria, and I have a black cousin, honey, and you can find her online. Of course, I'm not going to tell you where to find her because that would be scary. All these folks, she doesn't even know. She doesn't even know she's my cousin.
They just bring
but they showed up.
Wait,
all of a sudden.
wait, who is this person? Did I have a picture? Did I have a picture of her?
Yeah.
But she doesn't know who you are?
Stalked her on Facebook.
Oh, she did not. Nothing makes family
she
feel
found her.
more
No, she found her. She didn't talk to her, but she didn't try to make a friend request. But she's right here in Houston, and she's gorgeous.
He did send me a picture.
And guess what? She's got that good hair.
By the way,
we all know why.
I can see the family resemblance in the eyes.
You can.
It's something about the eyes.
They got that crazy eyes.
Crazy.
Wait, you saw the picture?
Yeah.
He sent me a picture, and I'm
Break
like,
it out. I want to see.
Well, girl, we on the show right now.
on the show right now, girl.
They can't see
I
it.
didn't know we on the show. We're not on TV.
It just went up.
This ain't on television.
Lord, the crank department full of healers.
This Texas tea.
Joe hate it. This is not television. This is a purd cursed. You is on a purd cursed.
So what do we got this week?
Eyes the what?
On a purd cursed. You ain't never heard of the purd cursed.
What the fuck are you saying?
You're on a purd cursed, girl. Get over it.
Talking in an ancient
tongues.
language.
Ancient Nigerian.
Listen, my folks, my people call it Ibernix.
Oh God. There we go.
This bitch found 3%
Wow.
in her blue.
And now she's all like,
she all
now she all.
She's got a band.
And I want my motherfucking reparations.
now
Okay.
she is Becky with the good hair. Good
Cut
Lord.
that check. Cut that check.
Looking like
Cut
Ice
that
Cube
check.
from next Friday.
Cut that check.
Last week she was like, don't, no checks. Y'all don't get checks. Now she's like, cut the check.
Cut the check.
Cut the
bitch.
check.
I want to check.
I want to check too.
You don't get a check,
Wait,
Whitey.
do you get a check if you're black?
No, Whitey, you do not.
I'm
You
fixing to
will.
check both. You
get a black
all
check?
of the presidential candidates are promising a check, and bitch, I am in that number. Give me my check.
Let me tell you something. I don't think that there's a check big enough
I like the symbolism of it
to make up for growing up.
But if everybody remembers a little Dave Chappelle episode when they talked about when black people got reparations,
that was so cute,
and how they would spend it.
So many rims.
I'm not gonna. That was 2000 something, so I understood what he was saying with that. But it's 2019, so I think black people would.
I think it was 2009.
2009, so I think black people would do a lot better. Because in that scan, everybody went out and just bought ridiculous shit. And
rims, lots of rims.
But he was making a point with that. So everybody, if you want,
and nobody else would do it any differently.
Go on YouTube and rewatch that episode because he was actually making a point.
When do we get a check for being gay?
When do we?
Girl, we were slaves.
I don't think they got a check for being
No, I don't know
black.
if we were
I think they got a
we
check
were just
for how
killed,
they were
girl. They didn't even allow us to work in the house. They just killed our ass.
Well, I mean,
As a matter of
they were
fact,
black.
when do I get a check for how I was treated?
listen, you know what? We were stoned back in the day.
I know,
and we're
right?
getting stoned now.
Society is set up against us. I want my money.
You know, exactly. You know, Randy and I were talking about this. It seems like that across the world in certain countries, gays get blamed for everything.
Mm-hmm.
If your country is going through a bad economy, it's because of the gays.
Blame the gay.
I've never heard that.
Oh, no, it's happening.
If there's too much pollution in your
Well,
country,
right, it's a new thing.
blame
It's not
the
because
gays.
it's not because the inner city.
Oh, because it's bringing
blackness,
God's
the inner
wrath.
city
No,
gays.
it's bringing God's wrath down on you.
No, it's because it just brings the idea of
You're perverting
if you
society.
really want to distract the public who's really pissed off about certain things.
Oh, right.
Just blame the gays. And
Exactly. Blame the
Oh,
gay.
yeah.
They don't think about the gays while we do whatever we want to do.
While we dismantle
And so-
everything.
Exactly.
And take away your rights.
And while we treat our women like pieces of
Right.
shit
Right.
and chattel and just women in those countries that hate the gays,
Yeah, exactly.
funny enough,
I mean,
are
it's-
treated like garbage.
It's disgusting.
Yeah,
It really
exactly.
is.
And it's all because of the gays.
Yeah,
and
it's
the
our
gays,
fault.
let's send them to prison. Let's stone them to death. Let's do all that stuff.
You know
Because
what?
The gays are the reason why that you can't do it.
You know what Whoopi Goldberg has said back in the day when she was doing stand-up comedy? Don't laugh, bitch. There's one in your family.
Yeah, exactly.
And there really is.
And there is. There always is.
And the Sultan of Brunei, who, by the way,
Oh, I was just reading about
has
that.
a gay son thanks to Paris Hilton, who, by the way, should not have outed his son.
Perez Hilton had no business.
He had no business
Perez
doing
or
that.
Perez?
And I
Perez.
think you really need to start understanding.
I thought it was
something.
Paris.
No, Perez.
Perez.
Oh.
But we really need to start understanding something.
You could
Don't
get
out
someone
people.
killed.
You can get somebody. You are going to get this man.
This is not
killed.
fucking America. I mean,
No.
this is, but not there.
Yeah, you are going to get people killed. Don't do that. And don't do. I understand why you did it because of what the Sultan Brunei have done.
Right.
When it
He's
comes to
trying.
stoning
He's
gays.
trying to make a point.
But
Right.
you literally put his son in danger, which is.
Not to mention, he lost his
Honestly, I don't think you
inheritance.
should ever out anybody.
He's not getting no money now. He
A
lost his
a
inheritance.
person's sexuality should be theirs to
Yeah,
decide
it's
when
their
they
own
out.
private
Yeah.
business.
He doesn't, and a lot of us, I guess, don't think past the end of our noses, so to speak, when we're doing things like we're doing. They don't understand, like, this show, even what we're doing, has the potential to reach an international audience.
Oh,
Yeah.
we are.
All across the world.
We've read the stats. We've read the
people
stats,
from
girl. They
Australia
and Guam and Australia
and so, like,
England.
somebody like Perez Hilton needs to understand their reach and the scope.
He has a
of
greater
it,
power than we
and
do.
understand what
Exactly.
comes along with that, and use that responsibly.
His power is
Exactly.
tenfold compared to
And
us.
you just-
quoting, Uncle Ben and saying, with great power comes great responsibility.
exactly.
Wow, we could be speaking
I
to
love
people
his
across
rights.
the planet.
We are.
We are.
We are.
Wow.
We are pretty much. You
But-
know, when I look at the numbers sometimes for the show, and I look at every now and then pockets of people from across the globe, I'm like, oh, somebody in Taiwan is listening to us.
Girl, we got New
somebody in the
Zealand.
Philippines
Yes.
is listening to us. Somebody
Yay,
is
Mm-hmm.
listening to us in country. Somebody in the UAE is listening to us. So it's like they pick us up little bits here and
Yeah.
there. But
So-
we never
Oh my god, I'm feeling a movie idea coming on.
Well,
should.
the thing is,
We should
I
say
think
touching our audience.
personally,
Yes.
it's no one
When we're touching
should
each
tell
other.
somebody else's business.
Yeah,
ever.
exactly.
Period. Girl, stay in your damn lane. Mind your own goddamn business.
Right.
It's not your place to out anybody.
Maybe.
I don't think outing was really cool back in the late
Right.
80s in the 90s.
And it should've been.
There are
And by the way,
actual
it was
groups of
necessary.
people.
Because that
It
was
was
shade.
necessary back in the 90s.
But I don't know. I don't know about that.
It was necessary because it actually helped show the hypocrisies and all kinds of
But
things.
that's
Well,
exactly the patience
going
that
on.
Perez Hilton is working on.
And-
by
but
I think the
now
only time
it's-
outing somebody makes sense
I'm
is...
talking about outing
But-
people, outing celebrities and stuff like
But
that. That's
I
not
think the only
cool.
time it makes sense to out someone is if they are a politician and
Yes.
they're going for
Yes.
anti-gay laws.
Public-
That's,
Yeah.
I agree with you, Alley Cat. I
by
agree
the
with
way,
you.
that has worked so well. When you out politicians, it's hilarious. It's
It is
amazing.
hilarious.
And all these politicians always seem to get caught in restroom bathrooms.
I know,
Girl,
right?
why are you in the tea room?
Why are you in the restroom doing that?
That's so
Well,
nasty.
where else are they going to be?
If you're gonna look,
Girl, be a respectable
Be
homosexual and go
respectable.
to a
Pay for
bookstore
They're
Or-
never...
Right.
Or how
Or
about
in a
this?
room.
or
How
a
about this?
bathhouse.
don't go to any of those places. Just look for somebody. Take
Or
a
come out and get an apartment
have
and
your,
move in together.
Yeah, exactly.
No, then they get extorted after they do that.
No,
when they
no,
bring
come
folks
out.
home.
No.
Just
Well,
come
I have
out.
an idea. Come out.
Well,
Come
but
out.
here's the beautiful
Buy an
thing.
apartment in Soho.
But here's
and
the beautiful
do your
thing. You feel better when they come out and they're in that situation where it's like, okay, we've been together for 9 years, and I didn't want to come out, but we've been in a relationship for 9 years, and we have been respectable members of the community and everything else. That I'm okay with.
Yeah.
Well,
And that outing is
They
actually
treat them right.
yes. And when
I don't know.
heterosexual, and by the way, when heterosexuals look at that, they're like, oh, well, they were just living their lives, and
Right. Even
oh my god.
but I don't
the
know.
nicest things
I don't.
But I wanna
I'm
finish
just
this
saying.
statement. But when they get caught in restrooms, when they get caught in
Oh.
dirty bookstores, when they get caught like that, then it's
it's
like,
embarrassing
oh,
for us because
Of course
that
it's
gives the
embarrassing
image that
for
all of us are
It's like,
doing that.
oh,
Oh,
so that's
but
what
When it's
you
really
think of us?
just, a smaller group.
So you who hated us and said that everything about us was wrong, but you got caught in a bookstore with getting your dick sucked by a man.
Mm-hmm. You
just
showed
made-
that call, girl.
Not only did you win, by the way, and
I hope it was good.
This is the thing that most people don't understand. Something they actually won their argument by doing that
Right.
because they made us
Look.
dirty. They made
Right.
us look
Mhm.
awful. When you get sucked, when your dick gets sucked in an airport bathroom and you get caught, what do heterosexuals do? They think that that's what we are.
That's a win for them. It is
That's
a win for them.
Uh-huh.
What do they think that we are? Exactly that. They can't walk. Heterosexual men, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So
Women
how
go
many
through so
of
much
us
shit.
here have had their dicks sucked in a bathroom?
Oh no,
Oh.
I don't do the tea room myself. I'm not judging. I'm not
Of course,
judging nobody.
Piggy.
I'm not judging nobody, but it's
Movie
gross.
theater,
I don't even like public restrooms.
I've had it done by heterosexual men.
What?
I've had it done by heterosexual men.
Well,
You
you
did say I'm a straight guy. Let me suck your dick.
Yep.
wait, huh?
Yes.
Did he really say
That
I'm a
doesn't
straight
make
guy?
any
Let me
sense.
suck your
In the
dick.
old days. In the old days,
If you like
No,
to
I
suck
got one
dick,
for-
that makes you gay,
I have a wife.
doesn't it?
does.
I'm a
Girl,
wife
if
of
you've
3
got a
kids.
dick in your mouth, you're
You
pretty
are
much gay.
or
But then why does
bisexual.
bi exist?
No,
But
I
not,
don't
not,
It's a
in the,
spectrum.
not in the
Spectrum.
1990s and the early 2000s.
Right. You're automatically a homosexual, for sure.
No, in
Or
the
branding.
1990s and the early 2000s.
Or
no.
I said or bisexual.
Right.
Oh,
Some people
no.
at the table don't believe there's a spectrum.
I don't care for those
Let
motherfuckers.
me tell you something. Let me tell you something. And
I always end up with them, but I don't care for them.
you know what? Here's the thing.
They're too
I would like to
confusing,
say-
right?
I would like to say this to the
Let that
bisexual
child
I
say
like
something.
full on gay.
She wants to say something.
I would like to say something to the bisexual community.
Uh-oh.
I get it. I completely get it. You guys have been ruined by all these people who are on the down low who cannot admit they are gay. Cannot admit they are gay.
Oh yeah, so
You
they
are
get
not-
married.
how are you
No,
giving the
I'm gonna
bisexuals
do
a pass?
No, I hear you. I hear you.
Greedy.
I think there's intolerance.
Dirty
I think there's intolerance.
motherfuckers.
No, I'm going to do this because it's,
Bisexuals get no respect because it's like, oh, you're just gay, but can't
They
admit it.
don't need
exactly.
respect.
What?
Well, and that's who's to say
Everyone-
that straight guys sitting around on a radio show just like this 50 years ago weren't saying the same thing about homosexuals.
Yeah, exactly.
It's intolerance and
They're-
it's unkind.
It's
You're
unkind.
right. I'm being intolerant.
It's
You
unkind.
goddamn
Hey, I think bisexuals.
And to anyone,
Bisexuals only help our cause because the more bisexuals that come out, the more that gay is okay. Being gay is okay.
No, I don't need to ride on those bitches' backs. And not that I haven't, because I have, and
What
you know
is
who you are.
what is with you?
You know I'm playing. Mostly I'm playing.
Mostly I'm playing.
Really? No, but I'm
Mostly-
the only men I've
Mostly
ever
they come out at
the
night.
only men I've ever dated, tricked with. I like manly guys.
So you have dated.
Are bisexual.
They use it as a buffer zone.
And,
It's okay
and
for
by the
me.
way, I will say this.
So I'm a
I
little.
will say this because I've learned this from download men. Download men who are really gay and don't want to admit the fact that they are gay.
Right.
They use bisexuality as an excuse
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
to
I don't think
to
they use it as
talk
an excuse.
to talk. No, they
No, the
I think
download
they
guy.
do.
I think they use it as a buffer, a safe zone for them to really not have to abandon this other part.
But they
of
always end
themselves
up
that
with
they
Yes,
want.
they're not ready to jump in the. They're not ready to jump in the
But
water.
guess what they've done? Now
They fucked it up for
There's some
bisexuals.
that
yes,
abuse
they
it.
fucked it up for bisexuals.
They,
Yeah, they
there's
have.
some that have abused it. I
But
will
this is not a
say
show
that
about
there is not.
bisexuals.
No,
No, but this
it's
little
not.
part we're talking about
But
it.
guess what we've done? Now we've broken down the idea of why.
Well, wait, isn't
Bisexual-
everyone bisexual supposedly?
Why?
Hell no, girl. You
Why?
can have all the.
I am full on
You can
gay.
eat all the fish you want, bitch. You can
I
have
am-
my portion.
That was offensive.
That was a.
Was it?
Yes, I'm offended.
That's what we're
Only
here
on-
for.
Only on Fridays. 'cause
I'm
it's
offended
nice.
for our viewers.
I am so offended. That
What do gays do?
I'm offended you're offended.
Do gays
I'm
do
offended that you're offended that I'm
Oh,
offended.
I'm offended that you're offended that I'm offended that.
I'm just saying there's Lent.
I'm just saying that
Girl, if there's
We have
pick it
fish on
off here,
Fridays.
hold on, there is a piece of lemon
I
in your
feel
shirt.
like
You get it.
this show might have figured out why we have such an anger with gay with bisexual people.
I don't have an
It's
anger.
Wait.
because
I
they
feel like
you know
we
they
have figured
use
it out.
that position,
It
and
is
so it
really
kills the
because-
center sect of people where
And
they
it's really
respect them.
because that the guys who were really secretly gay and had to get married and do all that stuff fucked it up for bisexual.
Because they say, "Oh, I'm bi."
Girl, I was in the bed with a bisexual, the Nazi.
I
Y'all
believe-
heard about the Nazi. I've talked about the Nazi.
I
I
believe
was
that
in bed
people
with a
are
Nazi,
clearly
and the
bisexual.
Nazi actually said to me after we had sex, rolled over, I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
We would do pillow talk. We just talk and laugh, and girl, there would be cocktails involved. We lived in the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And one day, after having sex, the Nazi said, I said something, and he said, "Oh, I'm not gay." And I'm like, "Motherfucker, what did you just say?" "I'm not gay." I'm like, "Okay, I don't know where you were just
Yeah.
now, but we were in bed and we had sex,
Well,
and you
what
had
did
sex
he
with
say
me.
he was?
And
Yeah.
guess what? I'm a man." So
What did he say he was?
he said, "I'm bisexual.
and that's what
It's not the same thing."
and that's what
Motherfucker.
fucked up the idea of bisexuality. Guys like that fucked up bisexuality.
Don't blow me and then say that
for
you're not gay.
guys who are
No taken.
Hold on, if he genuinely enjoys blowing men and eating vag, then what is he? If he genuinely
Bisexual.
enjoys both of those things,
bisexual.
so then it must exist.
But he couldn't deal with the fact
Bisexuals
that
are
he was.
opportunists. He could not
No, no, no.
deal with the
I
fact
would not
that
say
I
Now,
said,
now I'm starting to understand something.
Okay, we're
here.
really starting to generalize
Yeah,
the
yeah.
entire community.
No,
yes, we are.
I think
But
that's wrong.
I'm-
I think it's intolerant.
But I'm thinking.
Oh, I'm intolerant.
No,
And I'm not faulting you for it. I'm just saying, and that's a generational thing. Like
And I
I've come to understand, like over the spectrum
honestly,
of people that I've slept
honestly,
with,
I
it's
really
strictly
don't.
because I'm a hoe.
I'm really not. I don't care.
but
I'm a hoe, and
But I like-
I've slept with people who I genuinely believe are with women and enjoy being with women. And
Oh, he enjoyed being with women. He would brag
and
about
he was
it.
definitely by them.
Well, then he's bisexual.
It's only opportunistic because you allowed him to the opportunity.
can I say this? I will say this. I have now developed an idea of. I honestly do think that bisexuality, when it comes to bisexuality among men, especially among men, I get it now. I completely get it, and I understand.
What do you get?
Here's what
It's
I
not
get.
for me.
Here's what I
It's
get.
not for
that
me.
the guys that the few guys that I was with who were bisexual were honestly bisexual. They were honestly, and they understood the idea of being with someone who was of the same sex or being with someone who was of opposite sex.
I don't understand it because I'm not
But
bisexual, so
because-
it makes
and
no
neither
sense.
am I.
It makes no
Because
sense to me.
I like being judgmental because it's fun.
With
It is.
being with enough men who were on the down low. Now, by
And
the
down
way,
low is different.
down low is different. Down low is so different. And being with enough men who were on the down low who denied the fact that they were gay.
I've been with those men.
Or even bisexual. They deny being bisexual. They don't even identify.
Oh no, they don't. No, they don't identify at all.
Right.
They don't.
They're like, this is.
Opportunists.
That's why they call it the down low, because it doesn't exist.
And I think too many people fog the two of those
The
together.
there's no sexuality at all. It doesn't exist.
I thought the download just meant you were
you are
under the radar.
No.
There's a reason you're on the download.
Yes,
you're using a beard and
4
kids. Right.
Yeah.
But you secretly like to get your dick sucked at the store.
Or fuck a guy.
Or fuck.
Right.
Or get fucked. Or get fucked.
And you either are bi and not admitting it, or
and
are
that's
gay.
where they made. And by the way, because of those people, they made bisexual people.
That's where the intolerance grows from.
They made the idea of being bisexual terrible because if they had realized...
Yeah, that's what ruined it for me, the downloads.
Because they used it as a shield.
Yeah, they used it as a shield.
To justify that and, like, get us to wrap our head around it.
No, and you know what? The truth is, I don't want anybody to hate. I don't want anybody to hate anybody. And, you know, I'm just joking most of the time anyway.
No, I know. I mean, it's good
I like the funny. So,
right.
you know, and for me, I find it funny. To be intolerance is funny, girl.
It sure is.
Hello, comedy.
Hello.
And that's 99% of comedy is like, how many people in this room can I offend? You know, and if you do it unilaterally with one shtick, one comment.
Yeah.
You know,
I just don't want anybody
alien insulting people on a human basis.
Comedy is really hard nowadays because people are so
people are so sensitive.
And that's what's wrong with it.
And you have a line, you have this hard line you have to walk.
Why?
Back in the day,
because you have to offend people to make them laugh, and then you can't offend them too much.
If Joan Rivers, I'm telling you, one person's death can change everything. If Joan Rivers was still alive, this whole country would be different. It would. Because she never apologized for her jokes.
Well,
ever.
I don't think you should ever apologize for your jokes.
I don't feel like she attacked something that was unilaterally. She was on that level of being able to offend everyone.
Yeah, I don't think she ever was.
She didn't attack your creed, your color, your sexual
John Rickles was the same way.
She attacked what the fuck you were wearing. She said, "Oh, you wore sweatpants to the grocery store." Not allowed. You know, and use those sorts of things.
Pajamas. You bitches need to stop wearing. You
I'm not
millennials.
gonna say that there's anyone in this room wearing sweatpants.
Stop. Listen, I'm at home, and yes, I did wear them to the grocery store.
You did? I didn't know that.
I forgot about that.
God.
Girl, listen.
It's the one thing. Like, I won't judge you based on.
I just
on
want to be comfortable.
But I will judge you if you.
But these are not pajamas. These are socially acceptable.
At least they're not cinched sweatpants.
No, and they're socially acceptable.
Yeah, where the bottoms are stretchy.
No, these are cinched.
I know, I'm fucking with you, girl.
You know what? I don't like. You know what? I don't get.
I'm not attacking you personally.
I don't get the women that wear those like the legging. I don't get the leggings.
Oh my god!
The leggings are
as loudly as I possibly can, and in their direction, I say, "Those are not pants."
You're just gonna wear like stockings.
I swear to God, every time I see them, no matter what color they are, what pattern they are, I say, "Those are not pants."
Those are not
pants. So that they can hear me, like very specifically in their direction.
And then are they like?
They're like. And I was like, those are not pants. And I'm like, you can't wear those out in public. Those are underwear.
Those are underwear.
And they'll just wear like a big shirt with
like
fucking
jacket and
leggings.
It's like cold outside and they got their scarf
and their ass is just hanging out. It's like, what the fuck?
I may have worn sweats to the grocery store, but girl, I got some drawers on.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you gotta keep all that like.
At least they're not
otherwise
leggings.
you'd be running around with your third leg all.
Although you know what's fun?
ankle.
You know what's fun? I'm wearing boxers, and every once in a while, Willie comes out of the boxers and hits the front of the sweats, and what a cool feeling! Seriously.
So,
Ooh,
She just happens to be on the bench in the park and like.
You say what?
Wait, I have a question for everybody.
Let me. I stepped away from the table. For
Did
a little
you?
bit.
I didn't know that.
Yes, I did.
You were missed.
I would like to throw this in here to make sure to keep the conversation going. A Catholic mother wrote a little letter to the women of a Catholic school about the fact that girls should not wear leggings because her sons would be attracted to that.
That's right.
And would be suspect in doing things to girls that they shouldn't do. And it's all the girls' fault for wearing
A tasteless a tasteless delivery, I think, and her lacking the sense to actually be a part of the rape culture versus like the anti-dressing to like don't make yourself so rapeable.
You know
it's
what?
Totally the wrong.
It's
way
ridiculous.
Of going about.
It's a woman should be able. A woman.
Man should
Now
be
listen.
hands off 100% unless given permission.
It depends on the girl's age, but that if she's a girl of a certain age, her mother should monitor what she wears, not the next doe motherfucking.
If she's in school and your mom has access to your principal, then she needs to be monitoring what her kids are.
But
May I say this? We are now, Randy. When I talk about this, and I really would like to talk about this to the people in our age group.
oh, okay,
Because we are of the age group
we're
Okay,
51.
Okay.
where we watch.
Where's my book?
Where
It's time
we
for me to
watch
read.
a woman lead a sexual revolution through the 80s and 90s.
Who?
And
A woman?
A woman
What are you talking about?
lead a sexual revolution during the 80s and 90s about women being able to dress the way that they want to dress and be the way that they want to be and understand their sexuality and everything else during that time
We're talking
period.
about Janet Jackson.
No, we're talking about Madonna.
We're talking about Madonna. And
She was the first woman ever. She was a fashion icon. People forget.
Right.
They don't understand that she was actually a fashion icon, and she set this world on fire, girl.
She did.
Back
She really
in the day.
did. Yeah.
so now when we look at how people talk about how young ladies should dress and how young women should be this and that, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
From a generation that learned how to be as a sexual and proud of being feminine and a woman as anything else, literally telling millennial women how to act and how to not dress like you're going to get raped.
Well, they're the Z.
Yeah,
I think they're the
exactly.
Z generation now. Those girls are in high school.
They kept the fashion, but they lost the audacity.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
lost the empowerment that came with that message.
Yeah,
they,
exactly.
they didn't say,
Right.
here's you some pepper spray, here's you some leggings. Somebody tries to get in your leggings, you pepper spray them. They get both. These two come together.
Well,
Without
I
information.
don't agree. I don't agree
So
with the woman.
They would
but-
defend themselves with that and own that image as their own,
By the
not
way,
as this
I
is for
never-
you, this is for me
and
to
even
feel
back
that way.
then, and I understood Madonna's message. I don't understand why men should feel like, and by the way, I understand women now more than God, I can't even believe it. That's
Having been
weird.
grabbed as many times as I had just because of what I was wearing.
Here's the thing. To be able, I as a man could walk down the street at any time of night when I feel like it. Now, me being a black man, that might come with some certain things, but we're not going to go in that.
Driving while
But
black.
I like the idea as a man that I can walk anywhere, do what I want to do when I want
hell
to.
yeah.
I can go to a bar by myself
Oh, hell yeah.
and hang out when I want
Yes.
to.
Yeah.
I can do all the things that I want to do. But women, when I hear stories from my female friends who are like, I can't go to a bar by myself. I literally cannot go to the.
See, I kind of
identify
and by the
things
way-
I do every day. If I was a woman, I don't know if I
even
would.
going to the grocery store.
I walk around all over the place late at night. Anytime it doesn't I don't even think about that. But if I was a woman, there's so much stuff I would
Even going
have
to the
think
grocery
twice
store,
about.
I have seen women at the grocery store like, I'm just here to get food. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to.
Yeah. And I get upset at women who are rude, but then if I think from a woman's point of view, if I was a woman, I would fucking hate men
Yeah,
because there's so
exactly.
many fucking slimy
I have
douchebags.
I have two beautiful sisters, and trust me, men are coming on to them all the time, girl.
And I
Even when they're with men. And that's the
get
sad
from
thing.
that
Even when they're
like-
with men.
I would be so annoyed.
I get the, like, if I happen to just be, like, walking and not paying attention, like, a woman will automatically, like, switch her body language and her behavior because she's, like, consciously paying attention to me behind her. And, like, I understand it and kind of, like, I try to hang back and not be suspicious and not be conscious
You
of
know
her
what I
body
do?
language.
I don't
because-
think women
but
really
I think
act.
it's slightly insulting. Like,
You know what
do
I
I
do?
look like the type of person who would just reach up and
Yes.
stab somebody? Like,
But they don't know
but
that.
just because I'm a man,
But
they
they
get that
don't know.
impression. And it's like,
Do you know what I do when I'm in that situation? I literally have to get on my phone.
Oh yeah, I do that.
I get on my
Yeah,
phone.
yeah.
If I see, and by the way, once again, I'm a black guy.
right.
So when I'm
So you
a
get
black
caught in
guy
the night
walking
for
down
sure.
when I'm a black guy walking down the street and I see a white girl in front of me, way in front of me, and she's just doing whatever she's doing.
There was a blackish.
And she's probably walking really fucking
and we're
slow.
walking down the street. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get on my phone because
Right, and
I
Zoom
do
has her,
not
she's like,
want
yeah,
to get. And she, and like I said, I'm a gay man. I had no interest in her whatsoever.
Right, exactly.
But she doesn't know that. All she sees is a black guy walking behind her.
I compliment her shoes.
And she is afraid. And I have to get on my phone and pretend like I'm talking to somebody. Thankfully enough, because of headphones, I can pretend like I'm talking to somebody on the phone.
Well,
And I can do as Nelly as I possibly can be. That's what I have to do.
But you're Nelly out in public?
And that's not, and by the way, it's not just with women, it's all women. Even with black women, I have to make sure that I am as Nelly as I possibly can be because I know what they have to go through.
Well, speaking
I'm gonna
as
see you
a
act
newly
Nelly.
black man, I'm going to need you to advise me on things.
Act
like
Nelly.
that.
We need a
advice.
Nelly class.
As a new black man, I need to know what to
black
You're
man.
not
New black
Smitty,
man.
first of all.
Hey, we need to initiate him. So he gets a ceremony, right?
Does anyone at this table watch College Humor?
College.
College Humor, it's a...
Oh, I like that millennial interview. Is
Yes,
that that's
was
so
hilarious.
funny.
I love it.
I've watched that over and over
I know,
again.
it's hilarious. I love it.
Yeah.
It's on,
so
yeah,
good.
it's on the internet.
Are you
It's
guys-
College
do you know
Humor.
where-
Is this imaginary? Or are you guys?
No,
no.
millennial interview.
And College Humor, the other day...
I totally can get all the answers. Siri knows all the answers. I'm just out Siri.
Oh my god.
But College Humor did a little thing where they had a court, and this guy is like, he is like I think a third Asian, and they had an Asian court where they were like trying to figure out how Asian he is. And they're going through this whole thing. Hold up. They're going through this whole thing.
Like 3 Asian
And
judges.
yes. And he's like, so I'm like a quarter Korean. Can I talk about Korean recipes without sounding like a douchebag and blah, blah. And you have a full Korean, a half Korean, and a girl who she is the whitest thing on the planet. And she says, I don't think I belong on this panel because I'm only an eighth Korean.
He's more
I don't
Korean than she
belong
is.
on this panel. And they're like, you're fine. So they're like doing this whole thing where he goes through the whole spiel of he can tell jokes, but he can't come off as a douche and blah, 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 blah. So at the end of the thing, and they go, okay, so we're going to let the black panel in. And the girl who walks up, she goes, I'm a third black. And the black woman goes, you're black. And it's the end of the episode.
That's funny.
It's the most hilarious thing on the planet.
That's
Because
funny.
That's hilarious.
That's exactly how black people are. The moment that you put black in your DNA, you're black. As
That's
far as the
true.
Americans,
I've had black DNA.
That's
in
the
me.
scale. One drop of black blood makes
One
you black.
black-
for black.
I have
Thank
not had
you,
black
because
DNA.
guess what, bitch? I'm black.
I've had some black DNA in me.
mm-hmm.
I haven't.
I'm way blacker than you are, Randy.
Oh, honey.
I
If it comes to that, no,
Lots
you're
of
not.
drops.
have put a lot of black into a lot of people, but that doesn't make them black.
You said one drop of black DNA.
No, but I put a lot of black into a lot of people. But that
Well-
doesn't mean
Oh,
that
not
they're
1 inch of black. So that's
That does
different.
not mean that
Okay.
they're black. It just means that we had a good time.
Inches are
You
different
got a
than
little
drops.
bit of black. You got a taste of the black. You love it. But you are not black.
But that whole
But it's not the same as like the heart-shaped root where like
So when
like,
Randy,
the powers
and
of
by the way,
forever.
so when
I am black,
Randy,
bitch.
so when Randy sent me a text going, 25 and me said that I'm 3% black. And
23
shows-
and me.
And shows me a picture of the cousin. that
The
they have.
cousin
And
is
by the way,
gorgeous, and she's got that good hair.
See the color eyes? The cousin has the same color
Yeah, I wouldn't
eyes.
know because I haven't seen a picture.
Yeah, she has-
But the radio, it's not video.
No, it's not video. This is radio. So
Uh-huh.
it's a bird cursed.
By the way, Randy, I'm going to tell you right now, don't even think that being black is the most wonderful thing in the planet.
Oh, Randy's
Right.
all about it.
next week he's gonna show
I know.
up. He done lost all of this and
I already
people done
have.
hated on him.
I already have certain attributes that make me black.
Oh,
Thank
yes.
you very much.
But it seems like, you know what, the funny thing is that this is, I'm sorry, Randy, when I say this.
Why are you worrying me?
Come on back here, girl.
What are you saying? The mic can pick me up. What are you
Because
saying?
every white gay girl always tells me, "Oh, no, I was black a long time ago. I'm a black girl." Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, "Oh,
I don't understand. What are we talking
I
about?
don't either.
And she knows.
Well, I don't
this
get it. What do you
because
mean?
Sounds like a long story.
I was a black girl in a past life.
I don't understand. What
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
Yes. I
Wait,
was
a
black
past
girl.
life?
In a past life, they were every white girl, every white gay girl who is super effeminate.
Wait, are you talking
always
about a
says-
guy, a gay
They
dude?
always say, listen, I was a black woman in a past life. That's what gives
That's
me all this
fucking offensive.
attitude. And you know
Please.
what? That's a little racist.
Mhm.
If you ask me.
And
That's a
Yeah,
little
that's
racist.
offensive. And they don't understand why that's offensive.
Oh, do you like
Most-
Crocker?
most of that attitude.
Huh?
is
Do you like
just being
Crocker?
annoying.
Mm-hmm.
I love Crocker. Until they started playing Latin music.
Mhm.
I'm like,
Wow.
I don't want to listen to fucking Latin music when I'm listening to hip hop in a hip hop bar. Anyway,
I don't know. I just go through things.
I liked the Crocker when it was a bear bar.
oh, it used to be a bear bar.
Yeah, you used to be a
Yeah,
bear bar.
way before it hit hip hop and children.
Yeah,
like
it used
it
to
was
be
a bear bar. It was a
Children.
really good bear bar.
Oh, by the way, that bar that. By the way, there. You know the McDonald's on the swing on Westheimer.
I'm still thinking about a bear bar.
On the swing of Westheimer used to be a black bar right next to it. If you're traveling down lower Westheimer and you're about to get to Yoakum, which is that, and you're traveling down
Like Wa?
Westheimer. Yes.
Yeah. Wad and
Yes.
Yeah.
Me and my cousin it used to be a black bar for the longest time. And
Why do all the bars suck now?
because
Children.
no one because
Shit music and children.
I want a bear bar.
you're the children.
Yeah, you're the child.
We're not the children.
Yeah, you're
no.
the children.
No,
I believe the children are our future.
our generation were the last ones who enjoyed these things as they were. Like 6-11, gone.
Oh, I love. No, well, sometimes
Oh my
I love
God.
6-11.
I love
Oh my God.
6-11.
What
It was one of my
got
favorites.
What's 611?
Sound Exchange just got torn down.
6-11.
They sure did.
Sound
It's not
Exchange,
legal.
which was a large
But it used to just be
gay
6-11.
place.
Oh,
Oh my God, where all the gay DJs used to go to get all their albums and stuff. It's gone.
It's gone, girl.
Is it?
Sound Exchange, right at the corner of where I live, right here, torn down.
Ah, bitch, you gone.
Torn down. Oh
They're
my
gonna make it
God.
the condos, girl.
Oh my God, everything.
You about to get gentrified, bitch. You better get your
Oh no,
chickens
no,
together.
we're gentrified.
You getting gentrified, bitch.
We're Oh, by the way, thank you, young queen of 30-something years old, who said that I don't know what Paris is burning, which will be coming out in. You need a bitch. Paris is burning. Paris is burning, and you need to watch
I feel like
this
it was
shit.
based off that. Even that was based off of something older.
I've heard of it,
than what-
but I don't know what it
I've
is.
heard of
Really.
it.
There
And I'm
are
like,
there are drag houses in New York City. That's what it's about. The
Mhm.
drag houses, the big drag houses in New York.
okay.
And
You know what
inspired-
RuPaul is doing right now? Drag houses. And drag houses started because of Paris is burning, and you need to watch that. That documentary is amazing.
Is it
There
a
are drag
documentary?
houses
It is a documentary.
still in existence,
Mm-hmm.
and they inspired
What the hell is
Vogue
that?
by Madonna.
In the
They
mic.
inspired Vogue,
Mm-hmm.
the song Vogue from Madonna.
I'm
Vogue,
having
get on top.
oral.
Fixations.
What? That's not the.
I'm having oral complications.
Vogue.
You know, we're doing a show right now.
I know what it's like.
You called me out for it.
We're doing a show right now. Good Lord.
But, okay, so
people.
are they-
We're doing
and
a
they're-
show.
I
Drag
know what
houses. Is it actual living?
Yes.
Like
They all live
and they just
together.
live full time drag queen,
Okay.
or are they
They all
performance spaces
together,
as
they
well?
do shows.
Let me
I guess I
They
could
do
I have to
balls,
watch
darling.
them.
let me tell you exactly what was going on
Is
Is that
then.
like Pose?
What was going on then? Yes, it's exactly like Pose.
Okay,
It's
that's
exactly
Yeah,
like
it's
that
exactly
gives
like
me-
Pose.
that
They're
gives
drag
me a little bit
houses.
better perspective.
You
on it.
have to understand something. At that time, we had to take care of each other. We did have to take care of each other. We lived in houses. We had to take care of each other. We had to because
Not
we've
us.
been
We ain't
kicked
drag
out.
queens.
We've been
We
kicked out
touched
by
on
our
that
family.
briefly.
We've been
last
kicked
couple
out.
of
We have
weeks
been
with
kicked
their
out.
sense of community.
Yeah, we had been kicked out by our families. We were living on the streets. We had to take care of each other, and that's exactly what we did.
That's what drag houses were for.
Yeah, exactly. To take care
Right.
of each other.
And where you had like drag moms and things like that.
They still have drag mothers.
Well, yeah, but now
But they don't
they're
need them
strictly
anymore.
performance based. They aren't actual and
Yeah,
a
exactly.
lineage like they used to be.
No,
No.
Before it was a necessity
it used to be more than
because
just attaching your name to De La Fuentes. You know,
But we still have drag houses.
yes, but it's different now
in
It's
Houston,
all about
but they don't live together like they
but
used
it's
to.
prestige.
Right.
Lee Love
It's
is
just
a
by
major.
name.
Lee Love is a drag house
Right, and
in
it's just
Houston.
prestige of name. It's not
prestige.
protection factor.
No.
You didn't do that because you studied under her and she took you under her wing and taught you her,
Which
know,
is
brilliance.
sad because when it was
as much as saturated as it was back then, like in Detroit, we had the same kind of thing where like this is my drag daughter, and you have her come out, and she's all proud of her because she studied underneath her, and like I'm proud to give her my name,
Right.
you know, and to the point where like pageants took place in Detroit. I've never seen a pageant in Houston.
Well, there used to be a pageant every year.
No, there's a pageant
At
here.
Riches.
No, there's a
Riches.
pageant here.
But Riches, but Riches never
It's
stopped.
from New Orleans, but it moved here.
But I don't think Riches ever stopped having their pageant every year, Miss Gay Houston.
Well, didn't Riches like not exist for a while there?
It did.
it
yeah.
did not.
Well, it was off and on.
But now it's
Riches
back
has
in. I don't.
been off and on.
Right.
Now it's gay again.
Right.
And the owner,
that's where
of Riches actually told a friend of mine that he was having so much trouble with people being on meth and coke going to the bar that he wasn't selling liquor. And it's like, girl, I'm in this to sell liquor. Don't come up in my bar all full of crack and everything.
Oh yeah, because they don't.
Because you're not drinking nothing but water.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, it's a dance club.
I would like to, especially queens of your age. I would like to tell you to go back and watch Paris is Burning. You need to see this in the theater.
And I'm big on drag culture.
It will be. By the way, Paris is Burning will be back in the theaters June 14th in New York for 2 weeks, and then after that it will hit nationwide. And I would love to have the younger queens, especially younger queens.
We should do a field trip to go see it.
No, younger queens. I'm not worried about the 20
She ain't
years.
that damn young.
Can I say this? I'm not worried about the 20 years. I want the 30-year-olds to be able to see this movie because they need to understand where.
Well, I mean,
And being gay in this movie was the most wonderful thing that I loved about this movie. It wasn't about being trans. It wasn't about being
right.
bi. It was about being gay and seeing all of what gay community can do when you are the poorest of the poor.
Mm.
And you're living in a neighborhood that is not conducive to being gay.
Mm-hmm.
And gay people were able to make something happen
I gave
in
you
a neighborhood
prayers for Bobby.
that rejected them.
And look what we've become. We've
Yeah,
become so
exactly.
generic and boring.
Exactly. And
Because we're entitled. Because we've gotten what we wanted.
Pretty much.
Well,
Abandon all of our culture.
Girl, we have had rights. There's some erosion going on right now.
Yeah.
Very slight bit of erosion
Because
going on right now.
we allowed it to happen. We allowed,
But we sat on our laurels.
We don't
But
have
then
a
again,
museum.
I'm not. Listen, I have to clarify something. I always clarify it because I'm not one of those bitches who's going to say, I did this, I did that for gay rights. Bitch, I have never marched anywhere. All these other queens have, and I appreciate them and I respect them. So I will not sit up in here and say, I did this, I did that. I'm not a part of we. I'm simply a part of we because I'm gay. I'm not a part of we because I was ever an activist or anything like that. And I respect those people too much to act like I'm one of their number because I'm not.
And I will say the
I
same thing.
appreciate
I'm fine
your
with that.
honesty.
And I will say the same thing because I was a teenager. I was confused, didn't know what was going on. And I didn't know which way to swing the gavel, so to speak.
But
And
Is that what you
now-
call it? A gavel?
I'm gonna
So
disagree
now,
with both of y'all.
I will say this because of this show, I'm actually able
would say
to do
stand up.
that on a.
Well, we have a forum
You
now.
guys are part of that march. And
But now we have a forum.
So you can't say you're not part of that. You are part of that.
Well, I wasn't.
We are
In
at the forefront of the
struggle.
movement.
Not the big struggle. No, all
The
these
big
rights that
struggle,
we have
we
now.
weren't there.
Well,
The big struggle.
teenagers.
Bitch, I didn't march on Washington.
The big struggle is
The march on Washington happened when we were in our 20s, and I could have gone, but I didn't. I got flat feet,
The
and
march
I'm
on,
lazy.
there was a march on Washington?
Yes, Queen.
When?
Okay, there are a lot of queens that I meet pre-Pride who have no idea why we have the Pride celebration. They know nothing about Stonewall,
That's a shame.
Oh, wait.
and
That's a
it
shame.
disgusts me.
Well, I mean, I know about
Yeah,
Stonewall. I didn't know there was
me-
like a march.
That is
Well, yeah, I
upsetting.
mean, there's all these other different things, but like that, the date that Pride happens is specific for a reason to
Yeah.
the Stonewall riots.
Yeah. Which that's
And
when
there's one thing to know. That's where all those gays were.
Stonewall was the name of the
Right.
bar
Yeah,
where
on Christopher
those
Street.
gay men and gay women and drag queens were all harassed on a nightly basis.
Didn't there used to be a
Locked in.
Christopher Street magazine?
They were locked.
I think so.
You know, there was some major event where a bunch of them were beaten.
Well, no, what had happened was there were several who had been beaten and jailed, and their wound, they weren't
Right.
taken care of, and had I don't know if they passed away, but anyway, Judy
Definitely
Garland
something.
died
Yeah,
on the night of Stonewall. Judy Garland died,
right.
and there was so much upset and so much tension that
Well,
when the cops
I mean-
came in the bar, girl, it was on.
Right, you weren't fixing to mess with a bunch
It
of
was
emotional
on. The
homos
Queens
and
had it, honey.
because the Queen,
Judy's
the Queen was
dead, and now you gonna worry me? I don't think so, Miss Thing. So guess what? They picked up everything they could outside the bar. 2x4s, rocks. They let those police officers have it, girl.
Wow.
Yeah, and good for them. Little social unrest is a good thing.
It
We
is.
feel more comfortable about doing that nowadays than we did. We're just more scared now.
Well, no, you know what?
I think it's different. I don't
Our-
think we're.
The problems aren't
I
as
think-
short-lived as they used to be. Like,
Here's
you used to just get in trouble, slap on the wrist, and go away. And now they follow you around forever, and your reputation, and maybe partially the
I don't think
digital
people get
age.
as upset about things now, but in a weird way,
Because
they
it's
paradoxically get more upset about things.
Exactly.
It's strange.
Because it's digital, so it's shallow, but it's forever.
Shallow, yes,
It's like a sword that you can't
but
stop flicking in the
they're not going to take a whole lot of
Right.
action against something. They're just going to
Exactly.
tweet blah blah blah.
So I want to say this because I have something that I want to tell Randy that was told to me, and it was told to me in a way that made me feel better. And I want to be able to share this with Randy because we grew up in the same generation. All those people who died when we were teenagers, all those people
a whole
who
lot of them.
marched in the streets and everything else. I got to talk to one of those people who survived that. And I told him, I said, I wish I could have done more because I was, I understood what was going on at that time and everything else, but I was in high school and I didn't know what I was supposed to do or what have you. And he said, you know what? You weren't supposed to do anything. You know what you were supposed to do? You were supposed to be teenagers and living your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going to bookstores.
Going to bookstores, exactly. Why not?
We were supposed to fight for you because we wanted you to not worry about anything.
Oh,
That's why we did all the stuff that we did.
Girl, did you cry? Because that would have killed me. I would have been in tears.
I
Some sweet queen
but
saying
I
that.
was old enough. I could have marched in the streets. I could have done all of that. He said, no, you shouldn't have. You know what you should have done? Gone to school.
Yeah.
And not worry about all that stuff because that's what we were supposed to do. That's our job. Our job was to make sure that you didn't have to worry about stuff.
But I did have a good time in high school.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of the gay activists from the 70s
So
and all that. They made
So he
people
said-
aware of
But I
how
always
we're people and we're good people.
But I always felt like I wish I could have done more because you know what you did? You were able to be gay and live your life.
Mm-hmm.
We were already fighting the streets in the 90s. What were you doing? You were going to the bars. You were enjoying being gay because we were fighting in the streets. That's what we were doing. We were doing it for you.
Those bitches actually fought in the streets and got
We were doing
killed.
it for you so that you could be able to live your life the way that you should. So don't feel guilty about anything.
I agree with that.
Do not feel guilty about anything.
And they
because
deserve-
We were doing all the stuff that we could do.
I
so
completely
that you
agree.
Can live the life that we live.
That we're living right now.
I completely agree.
But I think
and
the key is to not take it for granted.
and we're pushing on with
I've actually had a conversation with an older gentleman and told him thank you, because guess what they did?
Mm-hmm.
They paved the way. Paved the way.
And we are doing the upkeep on that sidewalk.
But understand this. Understand this. I was 15. He was 25. That's only a 10-year difference.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's only a 10-year difference. So him at 25 was making sure at 15 I can go to school.
Right,
That I
exactly.
could do all the things.
Not
that
get
I could live.
your ass whooped.
And you were doing the same for him. Here, there's another.
Jordan
He's
did
fighting to
shit
make
for me.
sure-
Well, there's a
he was
decade of
fighting to
skill
make
there,
sure
and then another decade
that
there.
at 25, when he had lost his boyfriend to AIDS, when he had lost his boyfriend to AIDS and he was still living, that he was making sure that I would be safe. And he did all that stuff in the streets to make sure that I would be safe, because that's only a 10-year difference.
So we need to say thank you to the gay men before us. And bitch, you need to say thank
And
you to
those who
me.
have come.
For what? You already said you didn't do
We didn't
shit.
do anything.
I
Behind us
I
were
was
setting the
present.
stage for us to be taking right now and be
But the
using.
thing is,
I went to the club and drank all the liquor so you could come behind me and drink some more.
And I did.
She was at the bookstore, so you
I
could
did.
come behind her and drink.
I made
At the
sure to pave the way in the bathhouses and bookstores all over the city of Houston, so you
Well,
could
I
have
went
your
to-
freedom.
I never went to any
go
Houston-
into the bathhouses and
Midtown.
bookstores.
I never went to any Houston bathhouses.
Midtown is
Oh,
Midtown is
there,
closed.
you girl, you still got it together. You could still go to a bookstore. I mean, a bathhouse.
You could go.
Wait, I thought.
Oh my God. That's
No,
really
Club
where I feel
Houston. Girl, you would have a good time.
I'm not that.
It's totally
I'm not
different.
that type of person.
The trip is what you make it.
I've only been to-
serve you down the door.
Oh, she gonna act all sedity and proper.
I went to one bathhouse and it was LA. Okay, it was pretty.
Oh no, the ones in LA are
Club Houston is a
Tame.
really respectable
Are they
place.
tame in LA?
No, the one in Houston is
Wait,
tame.
you went to
By comparison to Los
bathhouses in
Angeles.
I went to a bathhouse and it was in LA.
No.
Actually, no, I went in New Orleans
Bathhouses
too.
in LA
Actually,
are
no, my first
far
bath-
worse than anything.
My first bathhouse
No, we're
experience.
trying to say-
No,
Are they
they're-
dirty?
no.
Are they dirty?
My first
They're
bathhouse
rawhide.
experience
Rawhide.
traumatized me.
So this queen already has.
I went to a
Something
blackout
alright.
party at Rawhide.
Girl, if you've been to a filthy one, you'll enjoy
Yeah,
Club
but
Houston.
my
It's
first-
clean. Club
Can I
Houston
say
is clean.
something?
You can say
My
anything.
first bathhouse experience was actually in New Orleans.
and that was
And
fucking rough.
it fucking traumatized the fuck out of me, and I never wanted to go back to one since then. And I did go to one in LA, but I passed by this. We passed by this room, and there was this like dude who was like, he must have been like in his 70s, and he was lying on a table naked.
Just like
he was just waiting for someone
Yeah.
to come in and do something to him, and I was just
Well, there's
it
that.
freaked me the fuck out.
You know,
Now, girl,
That
why
is
you
the
gonna
place
get
where you get
why you
your
gonna
mind
get
right.
ageist?
sex.
No, it's
There
not.
is a pot for every kettle, and
I'm not. It's not. It's not an ageist thing.
Because
It's-
we've always been ageist.
I don't think it's an ageist thing.
Right.
No, I don't think it's an ageist thing. It was like,
It was just the fact that somebody was leaving
Is
themselves
that
at the.
is that where my life is going to be
Yeah.
when I'm 70? Is I'm going to be alone in a bathhouse waiting for someone to come have sex with me?
No, we hope not. But the way you're
No.
going,
Can I ask you a question?
no.
Instagram nasty.
What? Can I ask you a question?
What?
Maybe the guy was 70 alone in the bathhouse. Didn't feel like that.
Maybe.
Maybe he felt like that.
He was so
I'm cool.
Maybe he felt
I'm
cute.
70 in the bathhouse and I feel cute.
Maybe he
I
felt
wanna get
cute.
sex.
Maybe
And
he
you know
totally
what?
did.
He should
Somebody, and guess what? Somebody fucked that old ass motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure he had a great time.
So the thing is that
Well, at least once before that, otherwise he wouldn't have come back.
And I honestly do believe this. As gay men, I feel like that we spend way too much time worrying about this.
What do you
not-
mean?
But some
when
of
he
us,
said this,
we only have that.
for you all listening, when he said this, he genuflected
The face,
his face
The pretty looks.
and the pretty looks
By
and
being pretty
that we all
and everything else.
have.
I mean,
by
the fact
way.
that I'm intelligent is totally a secondary factor.
Can I tell you this? I had the best time this
Chris is laughing.
weekend.
Why are you laughing?
Chris,
I thought it was a
had
joke.
Chris and Randy.
It was
Why
a
are you calling me out?
Because I'm going to call these bitches out.
Why are you calling me out?
Chris and Randy, you know what I did this weekend? I spent time with friends who I hadn't seen in quite some time, and I got phone numbers. I got so many times.
It's all
and I wasn't doing anything other than sitting with them. And two of my best friends, a David and a Marcus. Two of my best friends.
Yes, indeed. I'm so happy about that, by the way. Very happy about that.
You went out?
Shout out to Marcus and David.
Congratulate you on
that. Wait a minute. No, we can't say shout out to David without doing it. We got to do the song. 1, 2, 3. David White.
If you're out there, David, shout us a holler.
Shout out,
We're always here.
And shout out to Marcus, bitch.
Shout out to Marcus.
Shout out to any of you motherfuckers.
What's Marcus's last name?
I have to tell you the story about Marcus, but I can't tell you on this show because it takes a long time.
Marcus is going to be next week, then.
Marcus with your Oprah Winfrey looking ass out of drag.
Ooh,
girl, Marcus looks like Oprah Winfrey.
Who is Marcus? I know Marcus.
Marcus is my best friend and cousin.
Did you used to work the door at JR?
But we'll talk about that story later. But for right now, Marcus. Wow. By the way, Marcus is the inspiration for why I'm doing a podcast in the first place. Why I've hooked up with the most amazing people in the first place.
Connected with.
Because he always said that I was. Marcus always said, Joel, you're different. You like people who are in your realm, and you're always going to meet people like that. And I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? And he's like, trust me, you are.
What realm are we talking about? Dungeons and Dragons?
I met this guy.
The Outer Rings. The Outer Rings of space.
You and Randy are doing a podcast? I thought you would. Because Randy and you were always the creative person. And then when I talked about all the people who were in the body, it's like, yep, that's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So it was always the idea of, yes.
Yes, Queen. Yeah.
Yes, Queen. Yes, Queen.
And this is us doing the upkeep on that road that was paved. Yes, it was paved by them, and yes, the stage was set by them. And this is us using the stage that they set for us to put on our performance.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no justice that we could do better to them and them making those sacrifices than to...
And...
that we would be doing them wrong to leave the stage unused. And we are putting on a show by any means, and any show put on is put on that same stage.
This show also gives us a platform to talk about other countries and say things like, you motherfuckers need to stop killing gay people.
Right. And we built that stage so that there are other backstages, and so that it becomes this, this universal platform for people to come up to from all ranges of the universe and all walks of life, speaking all different languages.
Because
as artists and just people using this to continue their work. Mm-hmm. I mean, yes, they set the stage. They did the harder work, but the work is still to be done. It is never ending, especially when it comes to people of all races, creeds, colors, etc. They all need the voice, and us being that voice for our specific audience is empowering those people who are sitting there listening and not thinking they have something valid to say or to contribute, to step up. I mean, yes, and nobody should feel bad about like, oh no, they stepped on my shoulders to get there. Like, thank you for putting your shoulders there. Because had you not bent a knee for the cause and lent your shoulder for them to step up on, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing now. And we are now bending a knee to the cause and allowing others a platform to step up on.
That's true.
And it's not the dirty, fatal work that other people do. No. But it is important because it continues that and keeps allowing this to be easier and easier. And it should be easier and easier. On a world stage, on a gay men's stage, we should continue to make it easier. And make it
but I don't like the idea of me bending down and giving someone a shoulder, and all they do is prop up this fucking generic shitty culture that is meaningless and stupid.
Up for that. Yeah, exactly. And so let's not allow that. Let's shake that shit off of our shoulders.
I think it's inevitable.
No, because we control who steps up on our shoulders. Because we still have the stage. for as long as we hold these microphones.
I think culture and art arises out of difficulty.
Exactly.
So if you no longer have difficulty, you no longer have interesting art.
I think the difficulty just changes. And now we're instead of a man versus his environment, we're a man versus himself. As far as writing poses go, and every story takes a stance of man versus, whatever circumstance. And now the narrative has changed and we are man versus himself in allowing what we're going to let be our antagonist. The problem.
Right.
Like, the problem is now we are taking advantage of what was done for us and using it for ill uses. We're using it to promote products and fashion and while those things, yes, part of our culture, it should not be our culture. Our culture should be getting back to making a community and making a place that we think is safe. Yes, safe for us, but we have forgotten all of the other places that are not safe yet.
Yeah.
And I think we helped use this as that little, and who knows, there's somebody on a podcast somewhere who feels uncomfortable, and it's the making of movie stuff. Some kid listens to our podcast and
yes,
like journeying
in the Middle East,
right?
Yeah,
journeying. They make it here. They come here. They figure out where we are,
and they can stay.
The Joe and Randy's Texas Tea, Saudi Arabia,
stay at Joel's house because they can't come to mine.
Right. And they show up on, some kid, even locally. You think of like
you can keep your little ass at Joel's house,
and they just show up on the doorstep because they use the address that we used to. For people to send fan mail.
They are coming to your house, girl, and there's nothing wrong with that. Take that little queen under your wing, bitch.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Under your
they're Middle Eastern, they can be hot.
Wait, how are we? Oh, shit.
We've done being over.
Oh, girl, we probably into 2 hours by now.
No, I don't think we're into 2 hours yet. I think we're doing okay.
Someone's enjoying their Texas tea.
No, I'm sure.
I would say probably 75.
Well, I do say,
Okay.
Well, my goodness.
I know.
Another 28 minutes.
Nice.
So we're doing that.
We're going all the way.
Right?
Full on, all the way, baby. Double rainbow.
We're going all the way.
All right.
That's a song.
All the way to the hill.
That was kind of good, wasn't it?
It was.
It was.
Well, wait. What is her
range?
What are we talking about? Do we have any?
Oh, we have all kinds of topics, girl. The topics we haven't even talked about.
Okay, so this one's been haunting me this entire time. The new KFC Colonel is hot.
The new KFC Colonel is hot.
I want to see a picture. But I can't.
However, he's not real. He's not real.
What do you mean?
He's CGI. They created him.
Wait.
It was George Costanza for the longest.
No, he's CGI. They created a CGI character.
Okay.
Is he back?
Yes. And in one picture, he's pulling up his KFC jacket and showing his abs, but he's not real.
He's and you know what's so funny that came up? I was working with a friend of mine. He actually, he's an antique dealer, and his mom recently met this new guy, and she started dating this new guy. And the first thing I said to him, I was like, he looks like a sexier Colonel Sanders. And he looks like a sexy Colonel Sanders because he's got the narrow face and the updated looks. Like if you put this guy in a white suit, he would look like a sexy Colonel Sanders.
Okay, I'm totally freaked out now. I don't know. There's too many Colonel Sanders.
There's so many.
And one of them was Reba McEntire was Colonel
Reba McEntire was a Colonel Sanders. Now all you have to do is Google
CGI Colonel Sanders.
CGI Colonel Sanders.
You guys are so smart.
What's your Boolean logic? Come on now.
You're smart, honey. You
clearly not as smart as y'all.
You scoffed when I said I was smart as something.
You graduated from high school, didn't you?
He thought I would.
See how smart she is? She graduated from high school.
Congratulations.
I don't know.
My mother and I, we were all watching RuPaul's Drag Race at the camp.
I've never seen a horror.
Me and my sisters and my mom, the guys were out fishing. And my mother died when she said, "Congratulations." My mother nearly fell out of her chair.
It's a fun show.
Oh
I think it's a fun show, but
I would say
I don't think I'd want to watch it all the time.
I would say since they switched networks,
So what?
they used to be on Logo, and now they switched to what is it? Showtime now.
Mm-hmm.
It's Showtime now.
It's not Showtime. They're on Lifetime. No, not Lifetime. They're in. Girl, they've
it's
switched so
Showtime
much.
now.
It's not Showtime, girl.
Showtime.
It's VH1.
It was VH1. That's it. It's on VH1 now, and it is so like concentratedly punny.
Mm-hmm.
It's they're forcing it.
Wait, there's puns?
every other line is punny.
They do a lot of puns,
And
but
it used to
that's
be
the
just
show.
enough.
But that's the show. It's not like the network's telling them do puns.
The network might be
feels
telling
it feels like they're forcing it now.
Oh, no, I agree.
When it was on
They're
Logo, it was
they
so
are very
organic.
pun heavy. Very pun heavy.
But it wasn't. I feel like it didn't used to be when it was on Logo.
Yeah, the network definitely could be like.
Seasons, they were just doing their thing.
And they used to throw shade.
Well, I can't
they
hear
used to
you.
speckle it in.
The first 3 seasons,
She
when
don't.
RuPaul's Drag Race was going on, they just did. What do you?
Oh!
Lord have mercy. We're having a wardrobe
you
malfunction.
shocked her.
Off camera,
Your barn door was open, girl. You shocked
Joe's
her.
barn door is open, and I was like,
The cow's trying to get out, too.
I was just wanting to
Oh,
let
I
the
thought
cow
you said
out.
binder was open. His barn door was open.
Barn door was open.
Lord have mercy.
Lord,
No,
we've
I-
lost control of the
Wait, do I have
show
a
thanks
Texas-
to your barn
do I
door.
have an accent?
Yes, you have an
I don't think I have
accent.
an accent.
I have a Texas accent.
Do I have an
All
accent?
of us have a Texas accent.
I don't think I do.
Bitch, I've been to California for the last 20 years.
Yeah, but you don't lose Texan.
No, you don't.
He did that.
You did that, Chris.
Well, it was begging me to.
No, I was not.
No, you were not.
was.
How dare you, Chris?
How dare you,
How dare
Chris?
you?
How dare you, sir?
I'll never be the same.
Hey, I'm paving the way. I'm paving the way.
You just, girl, you just got me too'd.
You objectified
Yep.
him.
I ain't apologizing.
You're a part of the movement.
I ain't apologizing.
Time's up, bitch. Time's up.
What?
That's the
Time to
movement.
crucify you.
That's the
I just
movement.
knelt down, and someone can stand on my shoulders now. I did my part.
Well, there's no need to now.
Me Too is still around. What you
Unless
talking about?
unless they want a POV shot.
Yes.
You can't make fun of Me Too.
I said POV shot.
We were making fun of me too.
Don't make fun of Me Too.
I mean, we're trying
Girl,
to.
they're too big. Don't make
You
fun
too?
of Me Too.
Is it part of you
I ain't got my ass on
there a
honey.
YouTube?
I don't know nothing about it. You were a,
Just objectify me.
you were a, she is just, she
I did not grab you. I grabbed your fucking jeans.
On air.
Okay,
y'all.
okay,
It's
guess
happening.
what? Guess what? Real time
the
on
fuck?
air.
I think
Okay, what had happened was,
grabbed me.
people in the
See,
podcast, what had happened was, Joel's zipper was down. Chris
here's
I
was opening a
grabbed
zipper
his
more.
hand.
and now his attorney.
Chris grabbed his
We
hand
need to.
by the zipper error
We need to.
and made it.
Chris, you
made him aware.
We're
and
going to have to
Joel-
redact.
And
those
Joel
comments.
is sort of uncomfortable by the experience.
I'm not comfortable. I'm saying that I
Or
literally opened my zip. He literally. These are buttons.
It was
I literally
open.
put my buttons open.
No, they
Oh my
were open.
God.
She
every,
did not.
Every single one of those buttons.
girl,
was undone.
she did not.
I'm about to do
every
more than
button
that in a
was
second if you
undone.
don't shut the fuck up.
Every button was undone.
Every single
Lord,
button was undone.
what is
It was not
happening?
undone.
This podcast has fallen apart.
We have hit off the rails. We're crashing.
Joe Rogan's
And-
podcast would never have this problem.
Who is Joe Rogan?
Hey, let's call him right now.
Has
You know
been.
who Joe Rogan is? Fear Factor?
By the way,
Oh my God!
Joe Rogan's podcast lasts for 3 hours.
And they also get high as fuck, right?
Yeah, they get
Hey,
Yeah.
we could
See?
see that.
We could do
Oh my God! Should we do a high?
Yes.
Oh my God! We should totally do a high
Anti-substance abuse
podcast.
queens hanging around.
But I don't like to smoke it. I like edible.
Hey, if you had butter, and could you put it on in your anus and it would absorb through your butt?
Okay, you know what? I'm not putting
I'm not sure
butter
about
in my
that.
anus.
But would it work?
Gosh.
But I'm just not sure why you would put butter up your ass.
I'm not putting butter
I
in
mean,
my
people put, like,
anus.
butt chug.
No, people put alcohol in their ass because it absorbs.
That's a butt chugging,
girl,
right?
you know what you could do?
There's a
you
quantity
would put
factor there.
actual weed You would take the actual weed and put it in your ass.
I don't think that's the same because the THC.
It's gonna cook. It's gonna cook
in my ass.
Well, it'll saturate.
Yes.
It's gonna cook in my ass.
It's gonna take some time.
You'll be high as balls like 6
Yeah,
days
it's
from
gonna
now.
take some time, but it's gonna cook in your ass, and all of a sudden, you're high.
I don't.
But I think
like,
you would have to
where
be there
am
long
I?
enough. I think you would have a movement before
I don't know.
that could happen, before that could take place.
For all your viewers, maybe someone.
I don't want to talk about this. Why are we talking about
it?
She
I'm just
brought it
I'm just
up.
bringing the science.
Butter
Okay,
in
we
your
don't-
asshole.
Butter.
What?
There's a leak in the boat.
I think you can put butter in your. I think it would
You
work.
can
a lot of things
put
in your
butter
ass.
in a goddamn.
You can put
whatever you
zucchini
want
up your
to.
ass.
So
I prefer toast to an
I
asshole.
like an egg.
you prefer toast in your ass?
I prefer toast,
I was
butter
totally thinking
on
that.
my toast,
Oh,
not my
in your
asshole.
ass?
Bitch, I'm not putting anything in my ass.
This has gone way south. y'all.
What?
This last little 28 minutes is going to be.
Well,
tight.
we have no one directing us.
I'm waiting for a ring.
It's like
on my
herding
finger
cats with
before
y'all. Oh Lord, he brought
I put
his.
anything in my ass.
What the hell is that?
Oh shit!
Oh my gosh.
This bitch.
Are we bringing our apparatus?
Wait.
Apparatus.
Okay, if you guys are doing this, I'm.
Oh
Look at that.
Bam, bitch.
Oh
See
shit!
How high we can get during this episode?
No, we not.
But the episode's almost
Not
over, isn't
this.
it?
Not this sister of the
Wait,
church.
I have some better stuff.
Unless you
Because
guys
I
have a
can't- I can't
vaporizer, I'm not
smoke it.
smoking it.
It chokes me. I
Wait,
can't.
oh, okay.
Yeah, we get.
I have some better
No,
stuff.
I can't. I will breathe in the air, but you girls,
I was just like a 100, like literally.
you girls are a mess.
But I don't know that. I don't even know what. I don't know what any of these things are.
No, we're not.
What do you mean?
Y'all go ahead. I'm gonna take off
You guys
the
have some
excess
oregano
smoke.
on the
That's
table.
all I can do. I literally
Right.
cannot.
And I don't know
last
what
time
that
I
is.
smoked-
Wait, but you.
Last time I smoked, I passed
Is that
out
oregano?
because I get this cough.
Like
And
a brick
I
of
passed out
oregano.
twice smoking
right?
weed, so I can't smoke it.
No, you
unless
can't
y'all want
smoke
to
it.
call Ben Tom and shit. Oh,
No,
by
you
the way,
can't
bitch,
smoke it.
if
Okay,
I do
y'all,
call out,
this-
But you
don't call Ben Tom. I want
Hey.
to go to Methodist.
Are we
or
doing
St.
a
Luke's.
fucking show or
We're
what?
gonna have to
Yeah,
redact
we
the
are
last
doing the
28
show.
minutes of this show.
We're in the last
show is-
28 minutes. In the last 28 minutes, apparently, this
I have
whole
to
show
say,
has been
my-
Gone to the
anything
cat.
I
goes.
have to say the show I led last week was a lot more organized than this.
And mine was more organized than
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Joel's running the show.
Figuratively speaking.
So we done.
Joel's eating a cookie.
No, we're not done.
I think we burned through the last 28 minutes, didn't we? Are we at an hour and a half yet?
I don't know shit.
No, we're not at an hour and a
No,
half.
I didn't know what time it was when we started.
You
the show.
actually look. We're
Yeah.
not at an
'Cause
hour
I
and a
don't know
half.
yet.
It's an hour and 12 minutes.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Can we please talk about something of substance? I mean, really.
I'll take a break. We need to take a
Let's
break.
take a break. And
Let's
let's
take a break.
we're gonna recenter ourselves because now we got oregano all over,
Here we go.
and he is visiting you, and you know.
And we're back.
Hello. We're back on the air.
Yo.
We were talking during the break about content and technical things that we've been building and putting back into the show, and
Yeah.
hopefully we can use that as maybe
We're
us
working
as listeners appreciate it more.
Yes. We're
Yeah,
working on a
sorry.
logo, trying to figure
Working on
out
a logo.
what we want our logo to be and our branding.
We're going to be putting some of those things out on our social media, both our personal social media and the show's personal media, and want you guys as listeners to bounce ideas back at us /vote.
Tell
In
us
the
what
next
you
couple of
like.
Weeks, we're going to be putting ideas out there for you guys to vote on that we have sort of compiled down and pared down into 4 basic ideas
Mhm.
that we want you guys to vote on and comment on, and basically whichever gets the biggest splash from you guys is what we're going to be using
Yes.
to as our show representation in the future.
You are
Logos
you
for
are
cards.
determining.
Logos
Yeah.
for cards, T-shirts. We want your input. We need your input, and won't it be fun to be a part of? you know,
Yeah.
Exactly, you guys put that out
Tell
there.
us what works.
everything. Yeah.
Help
And
us.
We're going to be doing those through
Lord,
legitimate
please
channels so
help us.
that you guys as fans and as listeners, we want you wearing that stuff. So, like, don't let it be something you want to see online. See it as something like, oh, I would buy that on a t-shirt.
And tell us where you're from.
Oh, for goodness sake! please.
Represent.
Yes.
100%.
Represent, because guess what? We could put that on a
Tell us
T-shirt.
what you do.
Yes.
Both
And
in
if
the bedroom
you're
and
if you're
not.
cute, I mean we're all single, aren't we?
We're all
Well,
single.
Lord, I'm
Yeah.
hoping y'all are doing something.
But, you know, single's the way to go, I think.
Single, this is where you go. And we're all single.
Keep your options open.
Keep
But,
your options open.
Send
yes.
us nudes. We don't
Yes.
Send us nudes. Oh, girl.
Yes.
I'm all about nudes.
Yes.
Send us nudes.
Yes.
But I want full body and face.
Yeah,
Don't want to be sending no dick pics more.
No.
And don't send Adam's apple.
And do not show your ass and all like stretching it out, showing the hole. Like, what the fuck?
We don't want to see your starfish. We don't want to see your starfish.
Yeah.
And we don't want any of that Adam's apple to the belly button stuff. Show us your face.
Wait, what's
We're
that?
not-
Adam's apples to the belly button.
Adam's apple to the belly button, just the chest. Like,
Oh, I don't do Audi belly buttons. No, bitch. No.
what do you think it directly to the belly buttons? And we love you even if you have an Audi belly button.
I do not. He does. But fuck you,
I-
weirdos,
I-
geekos, with your Audi.
I've heard that I have a weird belly button.
It's not an Audi though.
I heard that it's like an Audi.
That's called a navel.
She's
got a
It's kind of an innie and an Audi.
It's an
No,
Audi.
that's a navel.
There's a perfect amount of personality.
Well, they're all navels.
That's not
It's a
a.
perfect little cum hot tub.
That's not an
Oh
Audi.
my gosh, that's fabulous.
It's a cum hot tub.
Yeah, so when you're riding on me and you come, it's like a little cum hot tub.
Yeah.
Is she showing? Is that a belly button?
Yeah, that's my belly
Is that a belly button?
Is that a belly button?
No, that is not a belly button.
Yeah.
That is a cum hot tub.
You know what? We
Is
got
that
to
a
take a
computer?
picture of that and put it online. So y'all
Hey,
can
let's
see
have
it.
that
Oh
be
my
our
god,
business cards.
that could be our logo.
Yes. Actually, put like
Everyone's belly
put
button.
like 2 eyeballs. That could be the mascot.
But I want to apologize to all the Audis. I'm sorry that you're deformed
Oh my god.
because of your mama and daddy.
Randy is out of control
because of
this
your
show.
poor ass mama and daddy. not
Wait, is that
being
why
able
there's an Audi?
to fix it?
No, because sometimes they want to chew off
The
belly
umbilical
button.
cord situation was apparently something your parents couldn't afford.
I wonder
Not your
who.
I
fault,
feel like
but
that's
it's your
not. I
problem.
feel like that's not a thing.
What's the longest Audi that's ever been?
I would like to tell the 33-year-old who is across the table, who is showing off the most fabulous belly on the planet, that as the 51-year-old,
The belly's going on Instagram.
I know. Look at all those
We
muscles.
don't want you guys to send
Look
us
at all those muscles. Look at all those muscles.
Take a picture of that belly button though. It's got to go on
Yeah, I know.
Facebook.
But here's
the camera.
here's the beautiful thing.
No.
Here's the beautiful thing.
Hold on, I gotta get my cum gunners in there.
As the 33-year-old across the table,
We have someone taking off all their clothes.
is he? Oh Lord, no! Don't do that.
And now the cum
girl.
gunners are in the picture.
What's a cum gutter?
This is the cum gutter.
Oh wow.
Oh, that is
I didn't know
the
that. All right, listen.
that is the Greek
Let's
that is
stop
the Greek
objectifying
fantasy.
him and get a picture of
He's
his
objectifying
navel.
himself.
I
Get a
am.
picture of his navel.
Of what not
Joe,
to,
I've got
what
the
not to
camera.
No,
send.
I'm not going to do that.
Oh, Lord.
I'm not going to do
I
that.
will take it.
Give me that camera, girl. And
Go
now,
ahead.
you know me. I'm not
You
technical.
gotta press,
Show me how to
you gotta
use
press the
it.
camera button. That's why they're all pictures.
Where is it at?
Yeah, just
He's got one of these highfalutin cameras that, girl, everything baffles me when it comes to technology. I sure hate it.
there.
Look at him.
All right.
Just no face.
Oh,
Oh,
yes,
look at
face.
that.
No, I
Look at
fucked it up.
that.
I fucked it up.
No, I got
Hit the
this.
camera button.
No, give it here.
Where's
I
my
got
hat?
it.
Yeah, technically,
I know how to
sure.
do this.
There, I just need my hat. My hair's all done.
Oh,
There you
see,
go.
I don't
Look at you.
that.
Here,
Oh,
I'll
look.
even hold the T.
You know, he looks British or Irish. I think I would.
Irish.
Oh, definitely Irish.
Yeah, he's definitely Irish. I want to share this with everybody in the Irish community
He's got
because
nipples like the.
look at that. I'm going to take
the
Oh, what's your tattoo?
one more.
What is-
Look at that. Raise the tattoo.
what?
Yeah, he's Irish. Okay,
Remember, those
I
nipples
got.
are like Levi.
By the way, I got several pictures. I got
Levi
several
Robert
pictures.
Rid- What are they called?
I got several pictures, and they are working.
Ribbons.
They are working.
No, they're fun, but
Yeah,
they're like
just dime
little
size.
tiny
Glass cutters.
Everyone's body's different, that's for sure.
No, no, no.
I have the tiniest little areolas that I've ever
like that. Part of Joel's jeans.
A rivet.
A rivet.
Don't touch his pants; he will get mad.
You just objectified him. You just pulled his buttons over.
I did not. objectify
You're.
him.
I'm gonna call the police.
I am not the one who reached for his britches.
Lord have mercy. We are still on the air, y'all.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
So that we're going to post
By the way,
those
we're on the
pictures.
air,
Y'all are
and
not
I
gonna
have
miss
taken.
out on that.
And by the way, at 12/31/2011, look at this. He's got the.
Oh Lord, he's probably going.
He's
through the
got the heart
Yeah.
tattoo with the fabulous abs, and we're gonna take a little picture.
My own artwork.
And there is Randy
I don't
and
think anything out of
Randy and
I had stank face. Look at those nipples.
I
Baby
know.
nips. Oh,
Who even knows what's on there?
Baby nips freak me out.
Baby nips.
Why did baby
Look,
nips
right there,
Those are
right
baby
there.
nips.
Look
Oh
at
my
that.
goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see.
It looks better than I thought it was going to look.
Oh.
I think that everybody in this room should show off
I
their
would
best.
say a 7.5 at,
I think everybody should show off
7.5
their
stars.
best assets
No,
and their
they
best.
shouldn't.
He showed off his.
Well,
Oh, no, that's not mine.
my best asset.
That's not my
should
best
not be
asset.
shown off.
How do you know what your best?
Slash
I don't know.
champion.
I already know what my best asset is.
We both know what my best asset is too.
No. I'm not talking about in the front. I know what I could do when it's.
What, your butt?
This butt is good.
I've got a great one.
This butt
We all have
is
great
good.
I have nice eyes. I think
This
I have nice
butt is
eyes.
good.
I love my eyes.
And
You don't
Chris,
think
you
I
have
have nice
actually.
I just said you do.
I will
Oh,
say
I
my
didn't
best
hear you.
Chris,
asset
you actually
is
have
my
your
smile.
Here.
your
But I
hair
paid
and
for
your
that.
glasses work.
Are you kidding?
Mm-hmm.
This man is serving the best
Yes, exactly.
goatee
Yes, exactly.
situation
Goatee.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a
Really,
goatee?
that's
thick
my best
and
asset.
thick hair.
And thick hair. Look at that hair. You want to run
Girl,
your
all I
fingers
know
through
is
that
what I see
hair.
right here.
I got a nice ass too. Okay,
All I know is what I see
and I
right
have
here.
a nice cock.
All right,
bitch.
bitch.
I don't want to see it, but
You
proud
are
of
I
you.
want to
out
see
there
it.
listening to the most stacked panel
I heard.
of show hosts out there. We all have the ass.
I
We
am
all have the
always-
cock. We all have the
I
ass.
can tell you right
We all have the
now.
eyes.
I can tell you right now. Of everybody in this room, of everybody,
But you
I want
have
to see.
facial
I
hair.
want to see
Yeah.
everybody's cock in this room. I want to see everybody's cock.
Wait, now.
Wow.
Okay,
You're
first of
not
all,
as
Yes.
first of all, I'm a very modest person.
If we
and
do that, we have to have an unbiased third
I
party.
don't even like to go swimming because I don't like people looking at my body.
First of all, that's not going to happen. Ain't nobody getting naked up in here.
It's
Why
not
can't-
like
I'm
such a
sorry.
grower
I
in
would
the
like to
shower.
see the cocks on the table.
Wait,
I
what?
would love to see
Mine doesn't have to
this.
fit on the table.
We're sisters.
It
I
won't,
don't
it
want
won't fit on
I want to see all these cocks.
Mine will not fit on the table.
I want to see how all these sisters.
Oh my god.
I want to know. Well, Joe thinks he has the biggest cock, and
You two have a little bit of a thing there. That
well, no, because
Wait.
Joe was just like, my cock is bigger than yours, and I'm like, you haven't even seen my
that is going
cock.
to be a topic for another day. We're going to close
And then Joe was like, my cock is still bigger than
now-
yours.
we are
I'm
now-
like,
Was.
I
okay.
think we're approaching the time, y'all.
Okay,
It is
well,
time for us to
But
send
I'm
off.
telling you this right now.
We're going to measure.
Has your cock been called?
Nobody is seeing cocks tonight.
Has anyone called your cock the dick of
yes.
death?
Yes.
Huh?
Not one of theirs.
Nobody's going to see
I'm not going to
cocks.
see one of theirs.
My cock was called, oh my god, with Fox with 17 U's in the middle.
My cock
I
has been
would
called the dick of
love
death.
to see your fucking cock.
Oh my
Lord have
goodness.
mercy.
I'm like, oh, I
You
just
know
showed
what?
you a little
It's time
picture.
to close
It's time to close the show.
because ain't nobody seeing nobody's goddamn cock.
So, no, I
Oh,
would
man, it's
love,
just getting good.
Oh, no.
No.
We're going to open the next show with that.
no. I
We're
would
gonna
love to
finally put that to
understand.
rest.
Wait, so you think that your cock is better than mine?
Shit.
I want
What
to
is
that's
what?
not better.
You think your cock is better than mine? Oh, no.
I didn't say
no.
better.
So
But you said bigger.
bigger is what he.
Yeah,
No,
that's exactly.
no, I did not say that.
There's a
You know,
cock
you just said
challenge.
that.
Okay,
I
will
feel
say-
like that there's
hold
a
on.
cock challenge.
Hold on.
There's a cock challenge.
There's a cock challenge.
There is no cock challenge.
Why are you
We're
shutting us
gonna-
down? Why are you shutting
Why
us
are you shutting
down?
this
We're
down?
going to get.
I'm shutting it.
Why?
Go in the other
We're
room
going
and do
to
that shit.
quote unquote get to the bottom of this issue. At the beginning of next issue, we're going to put this to rest. Somebody is going to put this to rest. I'm not necessarily saying it's going to be me. I know it's not going to be Randy, but
I'm just saying I haven't had any complaints.
he
Okay.
said.
And I'm saying
I will
that.
say, in fairness, he did not say the hips was bigger. He just said, "How do you know yours is bigger?" Is what was said.
All I'm saying is that.
and we're going to
All
put
I'm
that to
saying
rest.
is that I have gotten a lot of wonderful
Next issue,
conversations.
y'all take your
Wonderful
vitamins, and next week
compliments
we're
of
going,
I don't need
how
vitamins,
beautiful-
girl.
we're going to put this to rest.
Vitamins, bitch.
I
No,
did
you
not.
did not.
I said,
No, you did
I do not
not.
need
No, you did
vitamins.
not.
It's loud. Y'all,
Okay, hold on.
loud.
Hold on.
What?
I said we're going to put this to rest next issue.
Y'all are yelling.
We're going to put this to
We're
rest.
not
We are going to put this to rest next issue. So we're not going to
It's
say.
not dirty.
It's not dirty. It's not dirty.
We're not going to say
I
more
already
about
know.
this. This week, we're going to do our send-offs
We are not.
and know that we are going to
Well,
solve
y'all can
this
show your
next
comments.
week.
Online.
The very first topic in current events and what happened to you since we met last is going to do that.
But now we need
And
a
that's why-
third party
We're
to
going
make
to get a
sure
neutral third
everything's
party.
Yeah,
fair.
exactly. We need a third party.
We're going to have one. It may not.
No,
be-
he's not a third party.
Well,
I am a third party. I may not.
We
be
need to
neutral.
go to CVS and have them measure a cocks.
Yeah, they're gonna.
They have, like-
the blood pressure machine
Yes.
at the CVS.
Can you measure my cock?
But for now, our send-offs for this week, that gives you a little, or as these gentlemen would like to say, a lot to look forward to next week.
You know what, Pinky, you know what we could do? Let's have the public decide.
Wait, it's not.
I don't know how
It's not
they're
who
gonna
has
do
the better cock, because I would win.
Not better.
It's who has the biggest cock.
They're so,
Wait.
they're so cocky.
Oh,
What is better?
what? You have the better cock?
Wait.
All right,
How do you have the better cock?
That's a whole other situation.
y'all are gonna.
My cock is pretty nice. Is all I
Oh,
have to
my
say.
cock is fantastic.
Okay.
They both
My
seem
cock.
pretty rude as it
My
seems
cock
right
gets
now.
a lot of compliments.
They're just in the room. They're having a
For-
conversation.
I have
Yeah.
not had.
Fucking lost.
I've never had a comp.
And there you
I
have
have
it. That has
never had a
happened
complaint about
before.
my cock.
Undocumented
My
lost
cock
order
is-
by random.
I have never had a complaint.
My
That is
cock
lost
is
order.
fantastic.
My cock is fantastic.
And
too.
by the way,
I think that should be.
I've gotten compliments from black guys about how great my cock is. So that says a lot. No, that says a lot.
That is general.
That says a lot.
It is generalized, and it's fucking
We're
racist.
sending off.
It is
Why are
not
they so
racist.
offended? They're like they're getting.
I know.
They're,
Why is that
what is,
so
they're
racist?
getting
because
so
we don't have
their
to put our-
titties in
I
a
know.
twist.
I'm very proud of my cock.
Our
and my
cocks
cock
are-
is
our
very
cocks
nice.
We're confident with our
Our cocks have their own social media sites.
Yeah,
Our
But
cocks
they're
have-
bottom.
There's a lot of chitter chatter.
We don't have to boast about them. They boast for us.
Hey, my cock speaks
Yes.
for itself.
Yes, my, yes.
She is bottom shaming.
Yes.
Frankly,
But
I am not just bottom. I'm a versatile bitch. Because guess what?
Whatever,
They're
bitch.
so full of hot
I
air
know,
over
that's so
there.
full of hot air. That's so full of hot air.
I'm
They're
putting
so
up
full of
Alice
hot
Cooper
air.
numbers. I'm putting
I'm
up
sorry. I'm sorry. Our
Yes.
cocks are fantastic. Our cocks are
Better than
We are the hot. We are the fantastic.
fantastic.
We are the
By the
fantastic
way,
cocks.
and by the way, our cocks get used a lot as opposed to the.
Wait,
this
no,
one
mine
I'm
doesn't
not-
get used a lot.
Oh, and there you have it, folks.
And I know.
Well, our
He's signing off.
cocks get used a
I'm
lot.
not a whore. I'm actually pretty
I don't
modest.
charge for it.
Oh,
It's like a
No, I'm not. I mean,
No.
yes.
whores. Wait, we're whores. We're whores for using our cocks
No.
the way that they should be used.
Lord have mercy if I got paid for it.
I know, right?
I wouldn't be in the financial position.
I
that
know
I'm in.
exactly.
No, I wish
and
I
by
was
the way,
more of a whore.
I am not a whore. My cock is used the way it's supposed to be used.
There's a big
Good for
difference.
you.
We don't have to.
My cock needs to be used
anybody.
more, but it doesn't.
But
That is-
that's your
that is on
problem,
you.
not
That's
mine.
definitely my
100%
problem.
your fault.
That's 100% your fault. My
I
cock,
never said it wasn't.
my cock is
Ladies
used
and gentlemen,
a lot.
come to the end of the show.
You and I are fun, just fun. Our cocks are
We
used
love y'all.
properly the way
And
that they
I
should.
know that the Queen of England is listening to this show, and thank you.
Pinkies up, buddy.
Elizabeth.
Pinkies up.
Thank you.
Nobody don't care about the Queen of English. Her
I do.
cock
Finally,
is
we had to
being
get
used
sh-
just as
You
much.
better not
Her cock is
talk
being
bad
used.
about the Queen of England.
The Queen
And
of
I know
England's
her
cock is
husband's
getting
listening
used.
anyway. Earl Grey. What's his name? Earl Grey. Sorry, mercy.
You mean
Double
Prince
bergamot.
Philip?
Double
Prince
bergamot.
Prince
Philip.
Philip.
English
Earl
record.
Grey.
Bitch, I watched The Crown, and you only got your
Earl Grey.
Earl Grey.
I know.
We're far.
Whatever.
Earl Grey is a tea bitch.
Yes. And
You don't think I'm aware of
Lots
that?
of- lots
Bitch,
of-
I've got the jokes. That's
lots
what
of
I'm here for.
bergamot.
I know Earl Grey. Good Lord.
This is Pinky saying if you're not going to be good at it.
Oh.
In closing,
Wait, are we closing?
we're closing. This
Charles
is the end of the show.
has his. What you got to say at the end? Because I don't.
That is what I got to say at the end. If you ain't going to be good at it.
And we're done, bitches. We are done.
Bye.
Stick a fork in us.
Stick a fork in us.
Stick a
We're
fork in
done,
you. That would
bitches.
hurt.
Hey, it's time to go Hope you liked your Texas tea. All you bitches and hoes. Hope you liked your Texas tea. Motherfuckers, be sweet and join us next week for Joel and Randy's Texas tea. Get your asses together, please.